Do you find yourself predominantly inactive, often lying in bed and avoiding activities? This behavior might be quickly labeled as laziness, but there's a deeper issue at play. Have you ever considered that what you're experiencing might not be a lack of motivation, but rather a severe state of exhaustion? You may be surprised to learn that this is a common phenomenon known as burnout. It's a condition that manifests emotionally, physically, and mentally, stemming from excessive stress and the inability to manage it. A study conducted in 2010 revealed that around 75% of American adults have experienced symptoms of burnout, with over 40% facing severe cases. This alarming statistic underscores the importance of understanding burnout and distinguishing it from laziness. Here are 6 signs indicating your perceived laziness might actually be burnout. Sign 1. Feeling disconnected. Do your days pass in a blur, with a sense of detachment from your surroundings and yourself? This feeling of disconnect is a hallmark of something called depersonalization, a common facet of burnout. You feel like you're observing your life as if you were an outsider, unable to connect with your emotions, experiences, or even your own identity. You feel emotionally numb, detached, like you're living in a foggy dream. This is not a simple case of boredom or disinterest. It's a profound disconnection from your own existence, a disconnection that makes you question the very essence of who you are. This is not mere laziness. This is burnout, a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion that goes beyond the everyday stress. Sign 2. Lost motivation. If you once were self-driven and ambitious, but now find yourself lethargic and uninterested, it might not be laziness, but burnout. Picture this. Once upon a time, you were a powerhouse of energy, always on the go, brimming with ideas and ever ready to take on the world. However, lately, you've noticed a significant shift in your drive. You're no longer that enthusiastic go-getter. Instead, you feel like you're stuck in a rut, devoid of motivation and struggling to even get out of bed. This is a classic sign of burnout. It targets even the most ambitious of us, gnawing away at our motivation and energy until we're left feeling drained and disinterested. This isn't a mere lack of willpower or a sudden case of laziness. It's a symptom of a much deeper issue, an overwhelming sense of exhaustion that's crippling your ability to function effectively. Burnout affects those who have historically been proactive and engaged, but have hit a wall due to overwhelming exhaustion. Sign 3. Diminished passion. Burnout targets your passions and interests. It's like a fog that rolls in slowly but surely, obscuring the things that once sparked joy and excitement in your life. You might have been a fervent painter, a passionate musician, or an avid reader, but now, these activities seem to have lost their color and charm. You see, burnout is a sneaky enemy. It doesn't just make you tired or unproductive, it robs you of your zest for life. It's as if a switch has been flipped, and the things that used to make your heart race with joy and anticipation now make you feel weary and indifferent. This is not a mere lack of motivation or a fleeting disinterest. It's a profound, unshakable fatigue that seeps into the very things that define you, that make you who you are. Activities, hobbies, or work that once ignited enthusiasm now feel burdensome or unappealing, leading to a loss of joy and engagement in what used to bring fulfillment. Sign 4. Increased irritability. An unexpected surge in moodiness and irritability can indicate burnout. You might find yourself snapping at the smallest inconveniences, feeling on edge or overly sensitive. This is not your usual laid-back, indifferent self, but rather a sign of emotional instability, a symptom of burnout. What's happening here? Burnout, stemming from continuous unmanaged stress, pushes your emotional resilience to its limits. You're left feeling raw, exposed, and hence more irritable. This irritability is not just a passing bad mood, but a persistent state that affects your interactions and relationships. Remember, being lazy is often associated with a certain calmness, an unwillingness to engage or exert energy. But this isn't that. This is you reacting to the constant pressure, the unending demands, and the persistent stress. This is your body signaling a need for help, a need for change. Those suffering from burnout may struggle to control their emotions, a stark contrast to the typical calmness associated with laziness. Sign 5. Neglecting self-care. A telling sign of burnout is the neglect of personal well-being and self-care. When we're caught in the throes of burnout, we often forget or simply lack the energy to take care of ourselves. This can manifest in various ways, from skipping meals or overeating to irregular sleeping patterns that can lead to insomnia or excessive sleep. When we're burnt out, we may also withdraw from social activities that we once enjoyed. We might find ourselves avoiding friends and family, preferring to spend time alone, and even when we do interact with others, we might feel disconnected or distant. Moreover, a general disregard for personal appearance can also be a sign of burnout. We might stop taking the time to dress well, groom ourselves, or maintain our living spaces. This isn't laziness. It's a sign that we're overwhelmed and struggling to cope. Changes in eating and sleeping habits, withdrawal from social interactions, and a general disregard for personal appearance point to burnout rather than laziness, marking a significant shift from one's usual self. Sign 6. Gradual onset. Burnout doesn't appear suddenly. It develops through stages, starting from initial stress to severe and habitual burnout. It's a slow, insidious process that can creep up on you, often unnoticed until it's too late. It might begin as a feeling of being slightly overwhelmed, then gradually escalate to chronic exhaustion, a sense of dread, and eventually a complete sense of disconnection from your surroundings and yourself. Pay attention to early signs, such as a decline in enthusiasm, motivation, or social engagement. These changes can often be mistaken for laziness, but they're actually warning signs of a deeper issue. It's important to be vigilant and self-aware, to recognize these symptoms for what they are: indicators of burnout. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but rather a step towards recovery and reclaiming your life. Mental health professionals can provide essential support and strategies to cope with burnout. Recognizing these signs is crucial for addressing burnout effectively. If you or someone you know is showing symptoms of burnout, seeking help from mental health professionals is a critical step towards recovery.